everybody, Interceptor here with a really short video today on Final Fantasy VIII. I was actually thinking about skipping it, but it's really short because there's nothing to say about religion in Final Fantasy VIII. And two, I wanted to test out the video on my new iPhone just to kind of see what that's like. So, without further ado, today's religion in Final Fantasy is Final Fantasy VIII. Final Fantasy VIII was released 2 years after Final Fantasy VII, 1999. And as I mentioned in the beginning, there's really nothing. There is legitimately nothing about religion in Final Fantasy VIII, and that's just what the game's about. As is common in this series, this is one of the times when they looked at the game before and they just wanted to go a completely different path for the next game. So it gets a lot of complaints sometimes, and I totally understand the criticisms because of the mechanics. I totally get it. Story-wise, of course, I love it. Character-wise, I love it. But for the purposes of this series, that's not important. There's no sense of any religion. God apparently is an exclamation, but it didn't make enough of a impression on me that I even remembered that. The closest thing that we get to a divine figure is VIII, who is kind of the creator of magic, the superpowered creature who passed down his powers to sorceresses. And most of that information we actually get from the Ultimania and not from the game. In the game, you're really just dealing with Ultimecia, who wants to compress time and become immortal. But whereas in Final Fantasy III, that brought chaos and this kind of cloud of darkness that was going to consume the world, in a Zoroastrian balance of powers kind of thing, in Final Fantasy VIII, we don't get that. It is simply the sorceress who compresses time, and we stop her. No ideas on who created the universe, how VIII got all these powers, nothing like that. So it really doesn't have anything to say about magic. There's guardian forces. They're kind of divine-ish, but they take up a part of your mind and actually eat away at your memory. It's really cool. I mean, it's terrible, but it's really interesting what happens with this version of Esper's. Way more interesting than most iterations. But again, I don't know if they necessarily have a place in terms of divinity. You know, they possess people-ish, but the people in the world don't worship them or anything. They use them for their powers, same as magic, conjunctioning, and draw points, and all that kind of stuff. It's like if you can use it, you do. So it's really, really focused on simply, you know, the experience of Squall and his team. And it doesn't really say anything about if there are beliefs beyond. It's a pretty sad world in that respect. No wonder Squall is so depressed all the time. He really literally does have to just depend on himself, which stinks. But that's why I love Squall. I love my manic, depressive introvert. He's not even manic. He's just my depressive introvert Squall, because that is me. So I love him. But there's no religion in this world. There's not. So come back next time when we talk about Final Fantasy IX, which reintroduces a lot of key characteristics from previous games because that was its point. Bye!